You're listening to Combat Radio with Ethan Dettenmeyer, right here on LA Talk Radio.
To start things off, Eric Mark has been smuggled out of Hong Kong safely and has managed to make it back to LA Talk Radio. How are you?
I am very good. Good to be back from China. I love the experience, although it was a bit put off by all the communists spying on us, but these things happen. It's just,
You know what? I hear they routinely shut down the Combat Radio Chinese fan page.
Really?
Yeah, and the same in North Korea, that they regularly dismantle it, the fan pages, and they have to start back up. But the rebel stronghold still stands out there.
Well,
so welcome back.
They saw what Combat Radio did in the Middle East and actually bringing down all those regimes. So
I know. And do we get any credit for it? I mean,
Nah.
come on. I mean, the Gaddafi thing, at least, please.
Yeah.
How about a little props
Come
when it comes
on.
to getting rid of Gaddafi? I mean, we basically funded that revolution through Combat Radio and the show I do with Derek by selling Colonel Gaddafi Libyan military uniforms for $19.99 plus shipping and postage, where you too could be a Libyan colonel in the Libyan military. I mean, I never understood why the guy was a colonel for generations. I mean, he never bothered to even promote himself.
I don't think he realized there wasn't anything higher than that. But
I think he demonstrated his pay grade during the revolution, though, the way he handled it. But yeah, exactly. So welcome back. Mark Ryan of Transformers fame is with us, or a couple of rather intrepid individuals, as you know, many of you know. On Saturday, December 10th, Combat Radio is doing a celebrity charity Christmas breakfast with Santa. It is tickets are only available through combatradio.net, but we have Greg Amsler of Salt Creek Grill in Valencia who's hosting that with us. A fantastic place, and that's going to benefit Toys for Tots, Family Promise, which benefits homeless children, and of which some of them will be there, and also the local school district. More on that later. December 4th, we will have the privilege of doing a live broadcast from the Santa and Sons Christmas lot on the corner of Burbank and Coldwater at the Valley College, where we will be giving, with the compliments of Mr. Mark Rolfe and Santa and Sons, Christmas trees to wounded combat veterans. So come down and see us on that day, because it's going to be a good time. Mark, you just got back into town, so I forgot to tell you I need you that night.
I look forward to it. I'll check my account.
Always good with a good cause. And then this Sunday, on November 27th, if you want to take a piece of rock and roll history with you to the grave, catch the International Swingers at 4923 Lancashire in North Hollywood. And if you know anything about these guys, that's Skinny's Lounge, by the way, well, a couple of them are here to do a little bit of talking about what this is about. It's a special matinee show. It starts at 3 p.m., Get there early because it's going to be a barrage of people. Why, do you ask? Well, because James Stevenson, known for playing in 72% of the world's bands, will be there number one of our Combat Radio veterans that we know and love. James, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Ethan. Thanks.
Glen Matlock was the guy that got nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame until Johnny Rotten stuck his middle finger up at him. He's part of this lineup. Glenn Burke, let's get with you, Glenn. How are you, Glenn? I'm sorry. I was gonna get into the rest of the band, but let's start with you.
I'm in now, so.
Yes. So you got this show November. You start a tour of Australia.
Yeah, we're off to Australia the next Monday or the day after. So it's kind of a warm-up show for that. But we've got loads of friends over here, and it'd be kind of a chance to strut our stuff, I suppose. Really.
No.
But it's sounding really good. We've been here. When did we get here? That's part of a week now. We've been rehearsing, and it sounds great.
Yeah.
It's always a good idea for people to know that we have rehearsed a little bit.
You have actually rehearsed for this one.
We rehearsed for that one.
Okay, yeah. Because with
Quite often,
I'll tell you what, Glen Burke is a slave driver.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he really a slave driver?
Yeah.
I heard he didn't even show up for practice yesterday. His birthday or something like that?
Usually I don't rehearse. I don't get a chance to rehearse.
Well, let's talk about the history of some of these band members. Like Clem's, so our audience knows how great this group actually is.
Yeah. It's a brand new thing. It's something we've put together for fun, So,
well,
and can I just also add that it's a free show, so it's free.
It is a free show.
You don't even have to pay to get in.
Where else can you see a couple of legends for free?
This is our early Christmas gift to you.
To the masses?
Wow.
To the masses, to you LAonians.
No, I like that. But
Los Angelinos. What do you call yourselves over here?
Assholes mostly, depending on what freeway you're
that's
on.
What we
But
call
it just depends. It depends where you're from. Angelinos. Yeah, free show on Sunday. What are you doing, Eric? You're good for that.
Going to the show.
Going to
Good.
show.
Yeah.
No, we're all going
Just
to the show.
like that. The man who knows his own mind.
Absolutely. Things are going my
Mind
way.
you, he's in the corner over there.
We'd play some of Glenn's music that got him into the Hall of Fame, but that's a story for another time as to why we will not do it. But I can tell you can find him on iTunes. You guys got a website too as well our audience can check out?
We've
No,
got
we've got
page,
Facebook. If you just go to
International.
Facebook and put in International Swingers, we come up.
International Swingers. That's a great. Who thought of that? That's got it. That no,
he
that,
did.
Did he? Is that you,
No,
Stevenson?
it's actually Gary Twin, I think, the singer. Yeah.
Because I would have thought that sounds like you, Glenn.
Not me. No,
No,
firmly no.
firmly no.
But
You see, Mike Peters, he runs and his wife, they run the North Wales Swingers. So I thought I'd expand it a bit more.
That is.
He was a hilarious conversation on Combat Radio, Mike Peters. Then you chimed in. You called up for that and gave us a proper.
You made me do it.
I made you do it. It's like that. He has been on 72% of the episodes of Combat Radio. But let's talk Glen Burke. How'd you guys end up plugging him into this lineup?
This whole thing happened. It was this guy's a very old friend of mine and Glen's called Gary Twin. He was in a band called Supernaut that had a huge hit record in Australia a while ago. And his agent there said, look, can you put something together to bring to Australia? So he thought he'd just speak to, some of his friends, of whom Clem was one, and, put this band together and go out and play in Australia. So that's how it came about.
And you guys just called Clem up? He was hanging around?
Well,
He was a friend of Gary's.
A friend of Gary's,
And
and
ours,
he was between things, so... And,
Clem just
I don't know if
loves...
it goes both ways, but I mean, I played with Clem at the drop of a hat. He's such a great player.
And he loves to play, Clem.
Yeah.
I mean...
Glenn, you were saying that you just did you're doing some work with the Reformed Faces, right? Or
I was at tail end of this summer. I'm kind of in my all-time favourite band, which is fantastic.
Yeah, so
we did some shows this summer. Hopefully there's going to be something next year, but I'm waiting to hear what's going on. I'm
Something
not in
in
the
LA.
drive-ins. I'd love it.
Something in LA, man.
I'd love
Something
it.
in
You
LA.
should start a campaign.
I should. Something Combat Radio can support here
Yeah.
in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But it's just so cool playing with those guys. They're such a laugh, and they got such a feel, and they got so much style, and it's great.
Well, what we can do is bring you guys back. Well,
I
for any
saw
cause.
I saw them playing at a festival in Belgium. I was there, and Glenn said, "Oh, you're only an hour away. Come to this festival we're doing," and they actually flew in a private plane.
Do you know what?
Some people
was
still
in
do that.
I was in the co-pilot seat. It was like
Really? Man, that's awesome.
a bit bumpy, though, I must admit.
What are you doing? Are you telling them not to mention that kind of stuff? Does that cut into your rebel image? Do you still have a rebel image? Because you look like a refined gentleman.
I've always been interested in the musical side of things. So.
Yes. What does that mean, though, for our audience, for the
It means-
Angelinos?
It means yes.
Yes. Are you guys? We're gonna get some more. We're gonna get some more LA dates from the International Swingers from you guys. This. I mean, this is the show to
Hopefully.
catch because it's free.
Well,
and
this
it's
is
now.
It's
but-
very early days for us, and we've just put it together. On Sunday night, that's going to be our first ever show.
Wow.
So, and the band sounds great. We think so. We're hoping that it'll be an ongoing thing.
I mean, you've come back and you've got something to do with the alarm. You got an alarm.
That's in England, and then Glenn and I are doing this Glen solo stuff, which we're doing a co-headline thing with Hugh Cornwall from the Stranglers.
Yeah, it's through February, March.
Yeah.
So we're going to be playing right up and down the west coast here. And I think we're ending up in Los Angeles in...
I think it's the 17th of March.
Yeah, maybe.
It's the last gig.
Maybe.
What's
I don't know the venue. So.
What's the best way to stay up on both your agendas if you're listening to this show? Like, because you guys also, I mean, combined, you guys are playing in 92% of the world's bands. So
well, the trick is to make them into the one thing that we're both on the
Yes,
same page
and
at the same time.
easier workload
I mean,
for you
know, when
guys,
you're in a
but-
band these days, you got to kind of do different things all the time to make it work.
All right.
Unless you're number one all around the world, but not many people are. Well, somebody is, but
Somebody is.
Somebody-
I heard it was you. No,
somebody's been telling Porky Pies.
All right, so that show is November 27th. The International Swingers of Greatness. Glen Burke, James Stevenson, Gary Twin, Glenn Matlock. Great picture of you, Glenn. Great photo. Who took that?
I don't know. It was kind of a bit
Fuck, that's an
jammy,
all-star
really.
photo, man. Has that been on the
And
cover of
that's
Rolling
not
Stone?
that old a photograph, actually.
Oh, that was just
I
taken last
taken
week,
at the. I was taken at a couple of years back. I did a thing at the Ramones birthday bash. I played with my band of Philistines, although James wasn't involved in that one then. But somebody took a
James
picture.
did not play in the Philistines?
I was playing with the Alarm on the same bill.
Okay,
Wasn't I?
okay, then you're back up to 72%. For a minute there, you took a hit. But 4923 Lancashire North Hollywood at Skinny's Lounge. The show begins at 3. It's going to be a barn burner, no doubt. I hope I can get into this thing. I think it's going to be a madhouse.
We'll make sure that you.
You got the back door open. You got like
We'll prop the back door open.
Yeah,
It's
the
a
old
secret.
school. The secret. The secret. Now you're going to get a bunch
Well,
of
now
people
everyone
pulling
knows
that
the
knock
knock.
at the back door. All right, so I'm looking forward to this. Anything else from you guys? I know you got to hit it. You guys just did an hour with us on the Forbes show, and now you got a life or something, right? What do you got to do?
I've got to go and do something in Long Beach.
That's very cryptic the way you said that. And you, Glenn?
I'm his driver.
Oh, you're his driver?
Yeah, today.
Which explains why James had to get up and get the coffee and run across the street and
That's
get
why he
the
looked shocked when he walked in.
Ah, very nice.
So I'm still quite... Well, I can't get this right. Is it right or left-hand side you drive on?
Are you serious? You're in I'm not going to ride with you. I've got myself a ride, buddy.
You're listening to Combat Radio with Ethan Dettenmeyer, right here on LA Talk Radio.